Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Art. So, this week, we're in December already. Can you believe it? We are so close to Christmas break, and then we're halfway through the year of school already. It's crazy, right? It's going so fast. But we're going to focus our energy and our art lesson today on doing some paper cutting. So, what you're going to need is a good pair of scissors, a pencil, a paper, maybe an eraser, and some glue and a black piece of construction paper. Now, if you don't have a black piece of construction paper, any color will work. We're kind of keeping this Christmassy sort of. If you don't celebrate Christmas, you can still make this project work for you because it really is just involving trees and cutting trees out of paper in a special way. So you can learn the technique and it doesn't have to be about Christmas at all. But if you do celebrate Christmas and you want to make this a little bit more Christmassy themed, I'm going to show you how to do that. And you can also, your background color could be red or green or blue or whatever color you have really that's available for you. So like I said, we're just going to start this off with a basic piece of white copy paper. You definitely need that, the 8.5 by 11 size, because we're going to be cutting it in a way that it's going to fit right onto the construction paper, and we are it's sized the right way. So white piece of copy paper is going to be what you need. Okay, nothing bigger than that. Okay, so we're going to go to the overhead camera so I can start showing you how to do this. So this is a super simple way to achieve a really cool effect. Okay, but you have to do a couple things to pay attention and make sure that you're doing this the right way. First of all, when you got your paper, it looks like this, right? Just a 8.5 by 11. You want your paper to be what we call portrait style. So let me zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit of a wider picture. So this is called portrait style paper. It means that it's the long way, okay, going up from top to bottom. If we turned it around like this is what we call landscape style. So land, we think of land, the horizon, the going this way. But if we were going to paint a picture of a face, we would have more room if we drew it or painted it this way. So that's why it's called portrait style, okay? So imagine this is where a face would go. If you were trying to make a nice long oval face, it would be really hard to do that here. It would end up looking short and kind of uh, chubby, I guess you could say. But so what we're going to do is put it portrait style, okay? Now, the next thing for you to do is to fold your paper. All right. And the way that you fold, if you're right-handed, the fold is going to be on your right-hand side. And if you're left-handed, the fold is going to be on your left-hand side. All right, so I'm flipping it back over. So my fold is on my right-hand side. Now, when we're cutting, we're going to be cutting on this side over here like this, okay? I'm going to show you exactly how to do this step by step. Now, here's the really fun part that you get to do. You get to decide what you want your tree to look like. So what I mean is, we're going to be talking about designing trees here and cutting them out of paper and doing some really fun things with them. Oh, a hole puncher. If you've got a hole puncher or those like cool scalloped edged scissors, go grab those too, because those are going to be really fun for this project. You're going to want those. So here's a couple of things that we can do. When you're drawing a tree, we're going to think about like what Christmas trees look like, or evergreen trees, okay? So if Christmas isn't your thing, and you can imagine what an evergreen tree looks like, right? It looks like a big triangle, right? An evergreen tree is a big bushy tree. It's nice dark green, and it comes to a point at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do the basic outline of a tree right here, and I'm going to make it stop about there, and I'm going to give it a trunk. And now here on the ground, oh, I know you guys can't see this very well, can you? Because let me do this in a dark marker. Sorry about that. I keep forgetting that pencil doesn't show up very well. Okay. Now this is going to be the ground down here. And I'm going to go ahead and add some like bumps on the ground. Maybe it snowed there recently. Now, on your paper, you're going to get to do this however you want to. I'm going to show you how to do this on the way I'm doing it on my paper, just so that you understand. Now, I already used blue marker, so to make it dark for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some little kind of like flame looking waves on my tree. So I haven't made any new dimensions to the tree really. It's staying within that triangle, but I just kind of flared it out and up a little bit to look like waves. And this is the part that I'm going to cut, not here. So when you're doing this at home, however you're doing this, let me show you another example, just in case you're confused. I'm going to fold this. We're going to do, but this time I'm not going to do the outline first. Maybe I want to do something like this. Okay, and stop it right there. Like that. Okay. All right, now let's see what happens here. I'm going to go back to the first one. And I'm going to cut now. And I'm going to follow this line. Like this. Sometimes I cut outside of my lines a little bit, but that's okay. If you do that too, it's not a problem. All right, now I'm almost at the bottom here. Remember, carefully cutting. So this you're using your straight scissor for. Okay, now we don't need this part anymore, and we've got this left over. Okay, so we only cut one time. But when we open it up, we've got a whole tree now, right? Look at that. Now I'm going to fold this back over again because I want to do some fun stuff to it with my hole puncher. So I'm going to punch some holes. If you've got a hole puncher, have some fun with the holes. But if you don't have a hole puncher, guess what? You can use your scissor to cut some cool designs. Now, where I was just cutting, when I was doing this, I was not cutting the fold, okay? I was cutting the outside because I was trying to get the outline of the tree cut out first. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from the folded part, which is right here for me. And I'm going to cut some stuff out just to make it fun. I'm not cutting all the way to the edge. So if I cut all the way to the edge, I'm going to ruin the design that I made. And then if I want to like cut in there, I just fold that over. You get to experiment with this. If you mess up, then guess what? You just start over, okay? Paper cutting is really simple, but you have to pay attention to what you're doing. All right, so I got, okay, now I'm going to open this back up and see what we have here. Oh, funky. Got some cool looking tree. All right, so I'm going to put this aside for a moment. I'm going to go back to my other tree that I made before. So if you did something similar to this, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to cut along the outside line. So the line that you draw is the line that you cut first, okay? And you wouldn't see the marker because obviously you wouldn't be using marker for yours, but I had to use marker for mine so you can see it. All right, so now we're going to open this up and we've got more of like a typical what I would call an evergreen tree or Christmas tree. And what you can do is go back and fold it once you like the way your design came out. And then you're just going to make, you know, little marks however you want to. You don't have to at all. But this one is all about, this project is all about cutting. So we're really concentrating our efforts on cutting. This isn't so much about drawing or designing or coloring. All right, I'm going to open this up. And now we've got this tree. It's got two very different trees. So now, here's where it gets really cool. You get your black construction paper and you glue your tree, whichever trees, you can make a bunch of them and see which ones you like. You can just make a bunch of them and decorate around your house for Christmas or just for fun. And you choose whichever trees you want to do and you glue them onto the black construction paper. And then if you've got things like sequins or glitter glue, you can glue them around the edges here and make a really pretty kind of like frame for it. As long as the material is not too heavy. Construction paper is not a heavyweight paper. So if you've got like buttons, that might be too heavy, but feathers might be fun, sequins, little stick-on gems, or even stickers themselves, or just glitter glue to make something fun around the sides. But try to leave the tree alone. Leave the tree, the white copy paper, okay? And just do some decorating around the construction paper, okay? So that's, you're going to keep the tree real simple, but the background you can decorate however you want to. And just play around with your trees and see how many different cool designs you can get. The most important thing is that you remember that when you fold the paper, you fold it perfectly in half if you can. You do your design. Leave some room for a trunk. And then imagine, here I'm going to add a little Christmas present here. And when I cut that out, I'll cut out around there, around the bow. And then you cut along the lines. And then you discard the other paper. And then you open it up and decide if you like it. And then you close it back up again. And then you start cutting on the folded edge. And you start cutting into any kinds of designs. Now you can draw the design first if you want to. So that way you know what you're going to do. Let's try this and see what it looks like. Or you don't have to do any designs if you don't want to. You can kind of leave it plain if you want. Just remember, a few cuts make it look really cool. This one's kind of got like a little cloud design. It's what we call an organic shape. So I did that cutting out part first of the designs, and now I'm going to cut out the tree itself. And remember, here's my little present. Okay. I have a messy work table right now. Try not to be like me. Don't be messy. Oh, look at now. There's a present on each side. So we've got this really cool little tree. It's smiling. And presents for everybody. All right, what are you guys going to make? Take a picture. Let me see what you're doing. I can't wait to see your cool trees. All right, guys, have fun with this. And don't worry, if you make some mistakes, you probably will. Don't worry about it. Just start all over again, okay? Nothing to get upset about. All right, see you soon. Bye.